in a quiet, sun-dusted attic where forgotten memories sleep amongst old toys. A seamstress named Elise worked her gentle magic. Her nimble fingers didn't just stitch fabric. They wove stories, mended spirits, and gave form to feelings. She created felt dolls, each one a unique vessel for the lonely souls who found their way to her door. Her shop was a sanctuary, a quiet haven tucked away from the world's noise. People didn't come for ordinary toys. They came seeking a piece of themselves, a tangible comfort for an intangible ache. Each doll Elise crafted carried a secret, a single, vibrant, red thread spun through its chest. This thread was the heart of the doll, a magical filament binding it to a powerful memory of love found, of profound loss, or of a deep, unspoken longing. Imagine a young soldier, his shoulders heavy with the invisible weight of war. He came to Elise, not for a medal, but for a doll. He asked for one, stitched with the threads of courage, a small companion to hold when the nights grew too long and the memories too loud. Elise understood. With careful, deliberate stitches, she crafted a doll with a sturdy posture and a gaze full of quiet strength. The red thread in its chest pulsing with fortitude. Then there was a widow, her eyes clouded with a sorrow so deep it seemed to have no end. She didn't ask for a doll that could laugh or play. She asked for one that could hold her tears, a silent confidant to absorb the grief she could no longer carry alone. Elise created a soft, pliable doll, its fabric warm and absorbent, its red thread a testament to a love that time could not erase. The widow would hold it close, and in its silent embrace, find a space to let her sorrow flow. Elise herself was a woman of few words. Her shop was filled with a comfortable silence, broken only by the soft snip of scissors and the gentle pull of thread. She didn't need to speak. Her hands, weathered and wise, told stories more eloquently than any voice could. They spoke of empathy, of understanding, and of the profound connection that ties all human hearts together. One bitter winter night, as the wind howled outside, the bell above her door chimed. A stranger stood in the doorway, a silhouette against the swirling snow, his face obscured by a dark, heavy scarf. His voice, when he spoke, was rough and hollow. "Can you sew a doll that feels nothing?" The question hung in the air, heavier than the winter cold. Elise paused, her needle still. "Why," she asked gently, "would you want such a thing?" "Because feeling hurts," he replied, the words barely a whisper. The simplicity of his answer held a universe of pain. Elise thought for a long, silent moment. She looked at the colorful spools of thread lining her shelves, each one humming with a different emotion: joy, hope, courage, peace. A doll with none of that. It was a request she had never received. Finally, she gave a slow, deliberate nod. "I can," she said softly, "but you must understand, it will be empty." The stranger agreed. For days, Elise worked on the new doll. She chose the plainest gray felt. She used thread devoid of color, save for a single, pale, almost invisible strand for its core. She stitched it with perfect mechanical precision, pouring not an ounce of warmth or memory into its creation. It was a flawless doll, but it had no soul. Weeks later, the stranger returned. The snow had stopped, but the cold still clung to him. He held the doll in his hands, its limbs hanging limp and lifeless. "It feels nothing," he said, his voice flat with a strange mix of triumph and despair. Just like me, in that moment, he saw the reflection of his own numbness in the doll's blank, vacant eyes. Elise looked from the doll to the man, and a deep compassion filled her heart. She gently took the empty doll from him. With a small, sharp pair of scissors, she snipped the pale thread within its chest and carefully unwound it. Then, taking his heavy coat, she took her needle and the vibrant red thread of love she had set aside. With slow, tender stitches, she began to reweave that brilliant red thread into the lining of his coat, right over his heart. As she worked, she finally broke her silence, her voice a warm whisper in the cold room. "You can't remove pain by creating a void," she said. "The only way to heal a wound is to stitch love around it, to give it warmth and strength until it can mend." She finished her work and handed the coat back to him. He pulled it on, the fabric now holding a secret warmth against his chest. As he turned to leave, a single, glistening tear escaped his eye and traced a path down his cheek. It was the first he had shed in years, a tiny crack in the ice that had encased his heart for so long. The next morning, the bell on Elise's door remained silent. But on her workbench, where the empty doll had once lain, was a small, folded note. In neat, hesitant handwriting, it read, "Thank you for mending what I thought was broken forever." Elise's shop in the quiet attic remained a place of peace, and her dolls, with their vibrant red threads, continued to find their way into the world, passed from one hand to another, stitching hearts back together, one thread, one soul at a time. They were a quiet reminder that even in our most broken moments, there is a thread of love that can make us whole again. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more tales that mend the soul. Until next time, take care.